The course was just spectacular, you know, like the start area there at TPUE. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, and my apologies if I am. Hi guys, Neil from the Running Duck Effect. Here it is, Tarawera Ultramarathon 50k trail race ticked off. One hell of a weekend. Going to go through what transpired for the whole weekend in this video. Going to show you how I felt out there on the trail. But I want to really start by just acknowledging the volunteers, the organisers of the Tarawera Ultramarathon. What a fantastic job they did. Those volunteers, you know, worth their weight in gold. For many of them, they're out there, you know, for the best part of 2 days, looking after us 50k trail runners and also the 100k and the 100-miler trail runners. I really take my hat off to the volunteers. They always had a smile on their face, dancing, cheering. Some of the aid stations were fantastic. The finish line precinct as well. The guys on the microphone did an absolute bomb of a job. It was my first major trail event, and it just really whet the appetite to do some more. So, you know, well done to everyone, and also well done to everyone who took part in the weekend, all those runners. I went back Sunday afternoon and cheered home the 100-milers who had been out there for well over 30 hours. Nearly all of them came across the finish line with a smile on their face, a story to tell. So, you know, congratulations to them. Let's have a look at some of my time out there on the trail. And if you stick around to the end of the video, we'll talk more about how I actually felt out there on the run.
5.8 now, 38.20, pretty good. Started towards the back, just slowly picking my way through 10k, 63.30. Still making my way through the field. Conditions are perfect, overcast, cool. Scenery is amazing, it's just gorgeous. Going up a bit of a hill here. Could probably drink a little bit more. Just had a couple of bites of a Cliff Bar. Going okay. Okay, 20k in. Just had my first gel. 2:06.20. That was a bit of the slowest patch through there. Single track, pretty hilly. So first gel, just going uphill. Still feeling really good. It's getting warmer though, I can feel the humidity. But still pretty special. Field's starting to thin out a little bit now. Still a little bit slow on some of the single tracks, but that's good. Good opportunity just to recover a little bit. Just gone 25k, 2:38, just on the Green Lake loop, bit up and downy. Still feeling okay. You know, drinking regularly. Just had a gel before. Been through the aid stations. Bit of banana. Topped up with water, just about finished a full Cliff Bar. Feeling pretty good. I'm thinking the back end might be alright, so you know, just being patient on the hills and just still really enjoying it. It's fantastic out here, it's just stunning. Just been through the 35k aid station, Blue Lake. 3:35.46, 35k, at the quickest 5k so far. First sign of fatigue just starting to set in, so I'll just start taking it a little bit easier. Just gone past 40, having a gel, about 4:06. Starting to feel it a little bit now. So a bit more walking, just try and recover a little bit. There's a bit of a hill coming soon, about 5k to the next aid station. So just keep chugging along.
So the big question is, how did I go? I didn't have lofty goals. I just wanted to make sure I finished with a smile on my face, which I did. In my video last week, I outlined my race plan. Just to jolt your memory, here's what I said. I guess an ultimate goal would be to run 6 hours or go under 6 hours, but I'm certainly not setting too high of a standard. I'll be happy with between 6 and 7 hours, and if it's longer than that, then so be it. But so I've just gone on to the Tarawera Ultramarathon website, have a look at my results in detail, and you can see that 5:33.38 was my official gun time, which placed me 88th finisher out of 1,074 finishers. 61st male and 4th in the 50 to 59 years age group, which is a bit of a surprise. Looking back on that, I'm really happy with that. 51.8 kilometres all up was the actual distance, and as I said on my Garmin, it was a 5:31.55. Absolutely wrapped with that result. So yeah, fantastic result for me. Really happy. So race morning, we walked about 2 kilometres from our hotel up to the race start. The course was just spectacular, you know, like the start area there at Tipui. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, and my apologies if I am, but you know, what a fantastic start, running past those impressive geysers, I don't know how to say them. It was quite funny too, because we'd only sort of gone 300 or 400 metres, and here was, you know, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 people that had already stopped and were taking photos with the geysers in the background as the runners were going past. So positioned ourselves towards the back. Took about 90 seconds to 2 minutes to get across the start line. Ideal running conditions. There'd been a little bit of rain in the morning. It was overcast. It was cool. The humidity was quite low. And the first sort of couple of K were, you know, a mixture of concrete paths, wooden boardwalks, a bit of road base, a little bit of trail. Then we got onto our first climb, but it was slow going to begin with, and looking back on it now, I was pretty appreciative that it was slow going. It sort of held me back a little bit. I was feeling pretty good. I had a couple of days off leading in, so I felt quite fresh. Got onto the first trail, the first climb, and then we got onto some good runnable wide sections, and I was able to sort of pick my way through the field. I just really had a strong run from there. As you saw on some of that video, I got to about 35k and before really any fatigue had set in. Look, I did struggle. I think it was a bit of a climb somewhere around about 42 or 43 kilometres. You can see there just on the Strava profile where that climb was. And I really did struggle up that climb and then down the other side as well, coming into the Redwood station, the final aid station before the 7 kilometre run to the finish. You know, it was tough going through there, but once I left the aid station, I just got into a nice, comfortable, even pace, which I held through to the finish. And crossing that finish line, I just couldn't believe it that, you know, the time, I knew that I was running well. I was on track for a sub 6 hour run as long as the wheels didn't fall off.
Nearly there.
Thanks, Doug. Congratulations, Holly. Also is Nathan Roberts, his first half marathon as well. Peter Young has come back again. He's done a
Keep those legs moving, well done.
And Claire Robertson from Christchurch, but originally
Come round into recovery just over here.
Yep.
Just past and then to the right. There's some lovely fans and nice nutrition for you.
Thank you.
running on the trail. That's inspiring. He's from Cookville in Australia.
And yeah, crossing the line, I was spent, I was buggered, got helped into the recovery tent, you know, got some fluids, a little bit of food into me, and look, I found a seat and pretty much spent the next hour just in that seat. Now the brain was telling me move, 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 but the legs just didn't want to have part of it. Yeah, then left the recovery area and waited for Trish to finish her run. Seriously, this is one stunning event, and I was blown away by some of the scenery. There were so many runnable forest tracks. The single tracks were runnable. It was just, and it's spectacular. It just, you could be running along on a forestry trail one moment and the next minute you're in like a rainforest. It was just so green, it was so lush, and it was so soft underfoot. The terrain was just so diverse, and it really made the run go fast. For me particularly, it just, time just seemed to fly, and the kilometres just seemed to tick by really quickly. And the area that really sticks out to me is running into that redwood forest. About 8 kilometres from the finish. The trees, it just hits you. And you know, these massive trees are right in front of you, and you're running through this incredible forest. It was just, it's almost magical. That's how it felt. It felt magical. And then to come out from the final aid station and run through the sulphur, I guess you could almost call it sulphur fields. It was a tough way to run the last 5 kilometres, but again, it was just highlighting the diverse range of terrain that for regular watchers of the channel or anyone new to the channel, I used the Maffetone running method, or the low heart rate training method, to get me to Tarawera. I had 16 weeks to prepare after recovering from a broken ankle. So did the math work in this event? Too bloody right. You know, 5.5 hours for a 50k trail event when I was expecting to take a lot longer. MAF definitely had me well prepared. I don't think I would have been in the shape that I would have been without using MAF, because I wouldn't have been able to build the kilometres that I had built as quickly if I'd just been running normally. I didn't stick to the MAF heart rate during the race. I just went out, I just made sure that I was running comfortably through that first half. I got to halfway and still felt pretty strong, and I remember sort of saying to myself that, you know, I've set this up pretty well to have a strong back half, even though I did slow quite noticeably after over that last 10 or 12 kilometres. You know, when I first started using the MAF, it frustrated the hell out of me, but you know, I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did, because it really prepared me, I think, quite well. It got me to a stage late in the race. I think if I had some maybe higher intensity runs, you know, I may have got a little bit further into the race before I felt that fatigue. But you know, I've got no complaints really. I had a great run. It was my first real event for 2 years after a series of injuries. To finish with that time, I was hurting near the end, but so was everyone else. It's really now given me some encouragement to attack the rest of the year. I haven't actually sat down and worked out what I'm going to do with MAF going forward now, but there'll be some components of MAF that I will continue to use as I look towards now doing some marathon races. So there you go. That's my recap of the Tarawera Ultramarathon 50k trail race. Pretty special to have one of these. It's whet the appetite for me to do some more trail events. There's a little part of me that would like to have a crack at longer events. Who knows, may even go back to Tarawera next year and tackle the longer 100k event. It sort of has planted the seed of going longer, but I've got some marathon goals to complete this year. So we'll see how we go. I will try and recover well now, hook into some marathon preparation, probably start middle of next week. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Thanks everyone too for the comments that you left on Strava or on YouTube on the previous videos. Thanks also to the new subscribers. Now the channel's getting pretty close to 100 subscribers now, and that's fantastic. So hopefully that you're getting something out of these videos. Again, just want to really thank the whole organisation of the Tarawera Ultramarathon, right from the organisers right down to the volunteers. Congratulations to everyone who took part in the events, and I guess I'll see you somewhere out on the trails or out on the road. Hooroo.